Thank you very much, those who have congratulated me for this new appointment. To me, it is an honor, and I'm happy about it. But of late,
Welcome back. This is your feedback show, and this is your number one source maker. So let me pass my congratulatory text to Idah Odinga for the nomination to that noble and prestigious seat in the UNEP that actually would put the country on the map and on the pedestal. But that said and done, this issue has been received with different reactions in the country, and people do not perceive this as really a gesture of goodwill. Actually, the question is it a political strategy? Is it a recognition of Raila's legacy? Is it a political soft power play? So these are the questions that Kenyans are asking themselves, and it has had quite some reactions from Kenyans. And if I go through some of the comments that probably would be attached to these acknowledgement of Idah Odinga to the nomination, someone says hii njaa ni ya nini? Someone else says enyewe, politics is all about mind game jameni. Another one says aki wa Kenya tumebaki solo. Another one says you are on your own, Kenyans. And Malik says political tactics. All right. Another one says wrong move. Basically, you look at those reactions, it tells you that Kenyans have not perceived these as a statesmanship of is not a statesmanship gesture of goodwill. This is all political strategy. And others feels like that is an amputation of the ODM. And why ODM? And why ODM? That's the big question. Why ODM? What's the connection of Idah Odinga's nomination to the ODM? So Idah Odinga knows, of course, being the wife of the late Raila Odinga, knew exactly what Raila Odinga stood for, knew what the sacrifices that he made were meant for, knew what Raila Odinga believed in, and knew even the eventual plan of Raila Odinga would be. Because it is believed that his coalition and teaming up with the ruling party or joining the ruling party was a sacrifice for the greater good. The country was sliding into anarchy, and he couldn't let that happen. Of course, the only person that the President Ruto went for once everything had turned into chaos was Raila Odinga, because President Ruto knew exactly the power that was in Baba's mouth. So same power cannot be undermined or cannot be overlooked in Idah. Idah, and this is what the connection is to ODM and the greater and the bigger picture of the Western region. ODM is a major political party that comprises a lot of politicians. I mean, a lot of political political icons from the Western Kenya. And the co-founder Raila Odinga, being from there, being from the Western side, it somehow stands to it somehow stands to belong to the Western side by birthright. In my opinion, is that President Ruto, in preparation of the second throne or the second term of the throne, has already seen that ODM might be the only party that may raise or has a bigger voice, in challenging his end towards the second term of his administration. And now that there is a crack, there is a rift in ODM, he's taking that opportunity before you realize yourselves, before you come back to your senses and remember that you're fighting for a common goal. I will have passed through you. And the only way to do this, when a mother's voice comes into play, if, for instance, today, Mother Idah Odinga calls out for a meeting to all the ODM members, Akina Sifuna, Babo Wino, James Orengo, Gladys Wanga, Oburu Odinga, and calls them for a meeting and shares out her cry after seeing that the ODM party which his husband had really believed in and had fought for and had come up with, is going to scatter. These people would listen to the voice of Idah Odinga. And if it gets to a point where Idah Odinga would sacrifice and offers herself to be with the nomination of the party to lead, even be the flag bearer, those people would all agree to it. They would. I'm telling you, they would. And to your surprise, people like Rigathi Gachagua, having to incline his ear to the mother, would also team up. Kalonzo Musyoka himself would forfeit his dream of running for president and probably ask for a chance to be the running mate of Idah Odinga. So probably President Ruto has seen all this before, and knowing the power that is in the voice of the mother, Idah Odinga, has run before in his wisdom, has already visualized that this can happen. Okay? And now that he has more vocal and influential contestants than allies in the ODM, that would ring a bell, that would ring an alarm, that if you're not careful, these people, if they team up, they can nominate a strong flag bearer who is going to challenge you in the next coming election. And again, apart from the fact that he's anticipating that Mother Idah Odinga has an influence that she may use, as a weapon towards him by putting or pulling the ODM party together. That is also a mistake, because that can also work against him. These people, if they can again form a party that is not ODM, with or without the ODM party, I feel, and this is maybe if I were a personal advisor of the president, I think it should not be the ODM that he should have concern with. It is the members, the influential and very strong members of the ODM that are there. And you see, the party just brings them together. The ODM party just brings them together, which they can also decide to form another party. Basically, what my take is, or in my opinion, that well, it might work for the president if this is political. It may work for the president or it may work against him. Because with ODM, with ODM gone, or with the ODM being apart or being dismembered, then where are these members going to go? These members will pull other people or other politicians who are not on his side together, and they would come up with something, or they would come up with a party or parties which will incorporate those members and those individuals with a common goal. And if these members would put their differences aside, yeah, and come together, having their own flag bearer to compete or to contest against the President Ruto, then it would be a blow. Because a point where probably Dindi Nyoro, Babo Wino, and you saw them in the interview the other day, Sifuna, yeah, they would come together and form a political party that would be so massive. It would be a blow to President Ruto in his scheme and his strategy to retain the throne. It's not yet over till the fat lady sings. We are not yet in 2027. This is just a nomination. Of course, this has to be discussed by the legislature. And of course, you believe it is political because those who will object are definitely there, on the other side. And those who propose and agree to it, of course, the allies of President Ruto. So much as we would want to separate these from the political arena, we cannot, because eventually there is a reason. There is a reason as to why Ida Odinga is being nominated. Well, this is just speculations. We don't know what is in His Excellency President Ruto. Again, we also don't know whether Ida Odinga has any interest in politics. I would say there's still time. We're going to wait and see. But that is what is there at stake. So this is the Feedback Show, and I'm your number one source maker. See you in the next episode. Ciao.